G'day folks and welcome to World of Tanks with the magnificent Margon. Um, I have been promising this for quite a while now and finally really decided to sit down and actually get into it and get this going. Well, the 88, not one of my more favourable TDs. I must admit it's been a big struggle for me on this tank. It's nothing like the Universal Carrier, the Valentine, or the Electo. The AT2, it's similar, but it's just this thing has trolled me something chronic. Now, it's got it's pretty reasonable. It's a good tank, good solid tank. I think I'm nearly there. 2,000 left to go before I get my AT7. Pretty well fully upgraded. When I get to the AT7, I've only got to get the top gun on this thing, the top motor, probably the truck, so I'll have the free XP for and stuff like that. But that's okay. But with the AT8, I have no idea what's happened with this thing. Everything just didn't seem to work for me. I thought getting a top gun would be great, faster rate of fire. That's decent penetration. Like you got 171 penetration, 150 damage. Unless you decide to run this thing off premium rounds, where you got 239 with 150 damage, that might be the only way to really go. But I've generally played this thing with just normal rounds and just normal AP rounds, and it's worked. What are the factors? Well, 800 hit points. Yeah, you got a decent amount of hit points. Doesn't last long, particularly with the weak points on this tank. The cup holder there is massive. I have noticed a lot lately though that this machine gunner port here seems to be a hot target, and it gets hit quite frequently. Now I will jump over into Tank Inspector. Probably should have had that open. I might open that in the background. And it worked, and I feel that might be a weak point too, and I have shot it before and penetrated straight through there quite easily. Now, hull wise, 200 mils of armor, that 200 mils is pretty good. I think the only other tank that probably has 200 mils of hull armor would have to be, well, this is 201, 3? I can't read that. I gotta get the angle right. Where is it? There we go. 203. The Tiger P, which I believe is also in the same league. Let's just jump across quickly. Yep, it's tier 7. It's probably the only one close to it with 200. So, all in all, the 88 is pretty tough. Now, when I get over to Tank Inspector, I've just opened the program up. You will see that the cup holder on the top it's a massive target. And I really do hope that when it comes to the 87, when I get that its cup holder that it has is not a weak point. But I don't know. I haven't played it, and I can't actually say I've seen a lot of AT7s, even though a lot of people do play up the British TD line to get the Star Destroyer, as it's known as. Armor on the side, 100 mils. Armor on the rear, 100 mils as well, which is pretty good. I have bounced shots off the side, my tracks have eaten them, and I've bounced shot off the rear of this tank. So all in all, it's pretty good. Traverse speed only 20 degrees a second, so it's not terribly fast. Top speed of 20 kilometers an hour as well. This thing just slugs along. It's more or less a breach gun. This thing. If you use as a breach gun. I've never had a lot of success being a breach gun. Love the rate of fire, love the accuracy, gun reload time, actual gun reload time at 3 seconds is amazing. I think mine's actually down to 2 seconds with the vents and the gun rammer. View range 346 at the moment for me, and 586 signal range. It's not too shabby. I do love this tank at times. if I get in the right positions early and I can use this gun's rate of fire, it does work quite well, and I get some decent hits. The only thing that probably lets it down is the average penetration that it has, and that's the big thing about it. Now over here on Tank Inspector, that's not the tank we want to look at. That was the last one I did as a review. No, that one there, please. 88. No, it's not too shabby. It's not a bad tank, but it's not a brilliant tank at the same time. Go over to the color chart. As you can see, yes, this is a weak point. It's only 64 mils of armor straight through that machine gunner port, hitting where the plate is 78. So therein lies a weak point. Now, the upper glacier point there, which is also the same as the lower glacier point underneath it, that's an instant ricochet from this angle, 140. So it's not. The only point there's 200 mils is really here. This center bit here is pretty well, and the gun mantle is where you absorb most of your damage. Sitting as a low profile, you're probably finding 150 on that plate there, so it's not brilliant. It is definitely got a lot of weak points, and as I said, straight through here, you penetrate straight through 100 mils up at the commander's cup hole. So all in all, this has got a lot of weak points on the front of it. And when I first got this thing, I remember Kaz going, this would be great, this is going to be good, I'm going to use it as a breach gun. When I actually look at this model and Tank Inspector, which I haven't actually ever done, you really learn, and it's a really big eye-opener, and I should use this a bit more than what I do use it. I don't use it a lot of the time, just because generally I get a gist of things, but now I can see that is a massive weak point there, like 64 mils. I'll definitely be aiming more for the machine gunner's port than anything else in this tank. Cup holder, yeah, 100 mils up there. I've penetrated that a lot, and I do fire a lot of shots through that. But it's interesting though that right here, even though it's 78 mils, it does troll me a lot, and I haven't actually. I do aim for this point, knowing without looking at Tank Inspector it's a weak point. So there you go. Come up against an 88, aim for the left hand side above the track, or aim for that cup holder. They're the main points to hit. So I hope this has been informative to you guys. Now I will take you over to the one battle I had. Now I thought about doing two battles, showing you an average battle and showing you a great battle all at the same time, but instead I have changed my mind and I'm just going to show you one, because this thing being 20 kilometers an hour does take a long time. So alright, let's head over and have a look at my ace tanker battle that I had in the 88. Okay guys, here we are on El Haluf. Now, keeping in mind El Haluf has always been renowned as the TD camping map. Not a day goes by that I don't see people regularly camping on this map, particularly what I'm going to do at the start of this map. But I am a TD, and there's no reason why I can't do it. Now, as I was saying before, the 87, or the 88 was a project evolved from the 87. Now, it's interesting that the 87 comes after the 88 in the World of Tanks tree. That's what I found very interesting. As you can see, I've pulled up to the first rock boulder. Now, I always generally find I go to this side of the rock, particularly in TDs. I don't know why, but it just seems to work for me. And Kaz is in his SU-100 beside me. We regularly have played two fixed turret TDs recently together, which has been interesting in itself. It's been a big challenge for both of us to do this. Now, with these tanks, both projects were made at the same time basically, but no prototypes were built because the A39 Tortoise was the actual preferred tank of the British Army, more or less. As you can see here, I'm just picking off general areas in which I know the tanks are normally sitting. I've taken out the Hellcat, which I probably should go back a little. Bugger it, it's okay. It was fine. And he was just sitting over here on the left of the screen, as you can see. And this E4 is just leaving me the opportunity to let this gun fly and hit him all the time, which is great. I love it. And the Centurion, the Type 59 are down there, spotting those guys perfectly for both Kaz and I to let our guns sing across the gorge. Now with the AT-8, it was the natural progression of the AT-2. And it was pretty well the same, both in identical in the armor values, traverse speed, and engine power. And that's pretty accurate. Both tanks were very much a slow crawling thing, and this thing was designed as a breakthrough tank, so it was designed to use its armor to crawl through and push the advance. And as we know, most of the British tanks during the early periods, particularly when you look at the Churchills and the Black Prince, were designed as tanks that were sort of sluggish and slow moving, and the idea behind that was to allow, as you can see, I'm leading the Centurion now, he's behind a rock, I can't shoot him, them to work with the infantry and move forward. So that was the whole idea behind it. While I think about it, today, the day that I'm actually recording this, marks the anniversary of that was close century. But he gets minced by both Kaz and me, just sitting here pounding shots at him. There's another one. I don't think Kaz actually hit him yet. Oh no, he has. There we go. And we've taken him out, which is perfect. That's beautiful. Marks the 100th year that we sort of celebrate, more or less, of the First World War happening. Or it's known as the Great Wall. Great Wall. It's a car. Great War. I've noticed a lot lately when I go through things, they don't refer to it a lot as World War One. They just refer to it as the Great War, which is fine. It was our great but not so great war in some ways. Just taking a few pot shots here at that E4. Feather the outline of him. I'm only going to really hit his tracks, which I just believe I hit something there. It's hard to tell from this distance. I am shooting like nearly 600 meters away from me, so it is a fair distance. So I have a tremendous amount of respect for those who serve in the armed forces, and I have quite a few friends who have, and I still have a few that do serve in the Australian Defence Forces in some capacity. I don't know why none of them really play this game, but hey, you can't have everything. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. Here we go, another good shot. I just sat here and I had shot after shot. It was brilliant. Like, I'm nearly up to 1,000 damage in this tank, and this was the best match I've had. And this is where Kaz and I have said, let's get out here, let's move out. So I'm now turning this thing into its breaching power, and I'm moving off. Now, I get up to about 30 k's down this hill, which is odd. This tank doesn't normally get those kind of speeds. But let's use this hill to get down as quick as we can. Get in the position. Now we know we're pretty secure. We've locked down this position quite nicely between Kaz and I. The KV-5's moved across. It's taken a fair beating, but I'm pretty confident now that Kaz and I can utilise this to our advantage. And get into the right positions. Now I just get the edge of this Panther, I think. No, I don't get anything of him. I took a pot shot though. You never know. Pot shots do help. So yeah, it's one of those things. My grandfather served as well in the British Navy. He was in a Navy minesweeper. Serving actually in World War II. I don't know what war. I don't know whether they call that the Great Wall War II. I'm not sure. I think the first one's just referred to as the Great War. So it's one of those things, and I've always liked history, but I've been a big ancient history buff. But recent times, I've started to pay a bit more attention to more modern history, and I've enjoyed it a lot more. Now, this is where the game becomes a lot more fun for me. Now, this is the first time this tank has actually done probably about 700 damage for me. On average, I don't get this high because I'm so far behind the pack. But this was just, oh, it was brilliant. Like the Panthers coming down the hill there, which is fine by me. Hey, I don't mind. But I move into a position just around this rock here. I bounce a shot. I'm trying to get into a position where I can shoot the Panther. I miss him, and he gets taken out. But this is the beauty of it. I've now got the side armor of a KV-4, and I can nail him shot after shot. There's a Black Prince there as well. I'll line the Black Prince up, and I'm just firing now. I have got free range. Now I just got hit up the arse. There is the E4 in the hill, and I have screamed out to Kaz, taking him out, and someone else took him out, which is good. Which now leaves me in a position where I can disappear off the radar, and I'm bouncing shots now. So I can pay attention to these guys, and I can just keep firing all day long into that KV-4 there. Now I've lost him. There's a Princey. I damaged him again. Think, okay, let's get rid of him. He's down. And this is what I'm talking about. This KV-4's got nothing now. He's about to just get pounded shot after shot after shot into his engine deck. I was actually hoping to light him on fire. I can't remember whether I did or not. Poor KV-4. I did get him on fire. And this is what I'm talking about. This tank, this is the 1 in a million battle. This is the 1 in a million battle that you get where all the pieces fell into position. Now Kaz is a little bit higher up on there. He's able to utilise it. My engine is now dead. I've taken a fair old beating. There's not much I can do. But yeah, and I go, my engine's not getting me up this hill anymore. And I told Kaz I had to use my large repair kit just to give me back the power. I have now got premium rounds. I've used all my normal armor piercing rounds, so I've got premium rounds left. But we've now dug out our heavy tanks on the far hill over the side there. Now, El Huluf has been upgraded while I slowly chug up this hill. Now, over that right hand side there, they have actually leveled it out a bit more and made it a bit more flutter and more interesting. So I haven't played it yet. I'm actually really looking forward to getting onto that. So it should be quite interesting to see how that goes in the future and stuff like that. So utilizing all these things and things like that. Now that's what I say. This is a 1 in a million battle. You won't get a battle like this very often. I did 2,000 damage or something. I can't remember now because I had to just skip back quickly by accident. I let it run too long. Didn't want it to. And that was the beauty of this match. It was that 1 in a million. Taking you over quickly now, over to World of Tanks replays, and I will show you the stats basically of the end results of this battle. Alright guys, here we go. This is the final results for my ace tanker on the ATA in El Huluf. As you can see, I got Spartan because I survived ricochets. Got Confederate because I hit at least 6 teams, well, other vehicles. And as you can see, like the Pershing, as soon as he got spotted, was damaged. Same with the Panther, and destroyed. But I didn't do it. I just spotted him. The T-44, I did damage on. Also the Cheery, KV-4, KV-5, Black Prince, Hellcat T-34. It was a monster game. I loved it. And this is the only time I've ever done this well. Normally I sit on probably a Master Badge 3, maybe 2. And it was just, as I said, 1 in a million this battle. Damage wise, yeah, I'm No, I'm up near the top. Kaz got more than me, but 2,400 damage is bad. Over 1,000 XP. Now this was the first win, I think. Yes, it was. It was only a double, I think, or triple. I think it was a double, so it wasn't too bad. Experience-wise, yeah, I caned it experience-wise. And that was probably just because I had all those juicy KV 4, 5 and the Black Prince that I had a lot of fun chewing up on. Interesting, that KV4 actually didn't do any damage when you look at it that way. Anyway. Other badge, Steel Wall, Carnarvon. That is a tough one to get on the Carnarvon. I have had a Steel Wall on my Carnarvon, but it's the way you hold down with that thing and you get that angle and of that front plate a little bit more just to bounce, and it is a good tank, the Carnarvon. I did like my one. I prefer the Conqueror personally. I like the Conqueror a lot more than the Carnarvon. Price wise, yeah, with a premium account I made money. If I didn't have premium, I would not have made any money. Purely because I had to use that large repair kit just to get myself up the hill. Probably could have just said nah, not using it, and probably would have saved myself 20,000 credits. Made 27,000. As you can see, my armor blocked 2,000. Damage using my assistance over 1,000, and this is what I'm talking about. This was that battle where everything fell into the right place, everything fell into the right pieces for me, and I had an amazing battle. It was double star, so it was my first victory of the day. And Kaz and I generally don't play our TDs a lot just because they are so tough to do, and you've got to be on the ball the whole time. 35 shots fired, only 21 direct hits, but 16 penetration, so it's not bad. I did enjoy this tank, and this battle actually revitalized the disappointment I've had in this tank for a very long time, and it's been very tough for me to get to where I am now, and I'm starting to play a little bit more consistently better. I just had to get used to the fact that this tank is a slow tank, but there are those moments. If you move at the right time, you do the right things, it will perform for you and do what you need to do. And now that I've done that, and now that I've seen how I can get it to work for me better, I love it. And I wouldn't recommend it. It is tough. It is a very tough slog, but I loved it and I enjoyed it. So guys, look, that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this review. I've been promising it for quite a while now. I want to say a big thank you to all the guys that have recently signed up, who will subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do Facebook, I have got a Facebook page. I do post all my videos on my Facebook page as soon as I remember to do, which I haven't done today since I've jumped back in. Yeah, I'll do that after I finish this now. I've got my dinner to eat as well and things like that. So, look, I'm thankful that people are starting to watch my channel. I know, and I'm glad for feedback too. I enjoy having feedback. So if you want to give me feedback on things that I've done or things that I do, please do so. And I will take it on board and do what I can to improve my videos, to make them more appealing to you guys. So, yeah. Look, guys, I've enjoyed this battle, and I've started to enjoy this tank a bit more, and I just had to get accustomed to being not at the front, but at the back, and not being too far at the back that I'm useless to my team. So it's always something you got to do. And with this tank, you can move and shoot on the move. It's almost like a TOG, basically, without a turret. So keeping that in mind, and the health pool, of course. So keeping that in mind, look, I hope you've enjoyed this. Outside that, guys, look, enjoy your gaming like I have, and I do. I'm off to play some Diablo 3 for the rest of the night, and enjoy that with a couple of mates. That's just my pastime through the days. I tank it up, and at night time I play Diablo 3 or a variety of other games. I need to have a bit of separation from the game. So guys, enjoy your gaming, happy hunting. I'll catch you on those battlefields.